Greetings and welcome to our presentation. We are Group A. So, for the ethical issues in business research, we have chosen the topic the TikTok case and small business challenges. Moving on, TikTok is a widely used video sharing platform that was found in collecting data from minors without properly informing them or their guardians. So, this has raised serious concerns about whether users gave informed consent, a key ethical principle in data handling. So, the app's privacy policies were complex and difficult for average users, especially young ones, to understand. So, because of this, regulatory bodies in the States and Europe launched investigations into TikTok data practices. Talking about data privacy and youth data collection, TikTok collected data from minors without proper informed consent. So users were very unaware about the clear understanding or were unable to agree to the extent of data that were collected. So, talking about transparency, TikTok failed to explain its data sharing practices in user friendly language. The third one is multiple international investigations that were done by United States and Europe that launched investigation into TikTok data practices. And data security concerns were also raised over how and where the data was stored, especially if stored in foreign servers like China. For the next slide, I'd
So,
like to go.
yeah. So what went wrong? So for Kiman, so TikTok case, so they had no clear privacy policies, and it was not age appropriate data protection. So whatever applied to adults were also applied to minors as well. So there were no extra precautions taken for minors to protect their data, and it's unclear where the data is being stored, and it's possibly being accessed in foreign locations. So the result of that was like a lot of legal action, distrust among users, and there's a lot of reputation damage on what the TikTok collects and how it's being like utilized. So yeah. So how do we safeguard that? So we should have a clear, simple consent form, and also we should be able to also have the option to withdraw consent at any time. After that, we need age verification for minors, so that we know what kind of content we are showing minors and if it's age appropriate. And we need to have independent privacy audits and not TikTok internal audits, because one of the major things was TikTok was performing their own internal evaluation that further added to the distrust. And we need stronger data control options for users. So it needs to be more user centric. Users need to have more control over how their data is being used, what kind of data is being stored, and for how long it's being stored. So I think that would help safeguard TikTok. Now I'd like to move it over to Pratik.
So let's now look into role of research manager, especially in the context of data ethics and user privacy. As research continue to evolve in a data-driven world, the research of a research manager is not just limited to overseeing data collection. It involves leading with ethical responsibility and transparency. First and foremost, we must ensure ethical compliance with internationally recognized data protection laws, for example, GDPR in Europe and data policies. These policies should be easier to understand, clearly stating what data is being collected, how it will be used, and who will have access to it. Another key responsibility is to promote our privacy first concept. This means putting the user right to control their personal data at the center of all research decision. It's not just a legal application, it's all about ethical leadership. Lastly, our research manager must regularly review and update data practices. Data privacy laws are constantly evolving, and staying compliant by adaptive policies and procedure to meet current standard. Next. Now let's turn our attention to challenges faced by small businesses when they try to maintain ethical standard in data handling. The short answer is yes, business do face a disadvantage because first, they often have limited resources. This means they might not be able to hire legal experts where they can perform ethical review or invest in secure data system like large corporation can. Second, small business struggle to understand and comply with complex laws such as GDPR and COPA. These regulations are written in legal jargon and can be hard to interpret without expert help. Third, without proper tools, there is a high risk of accidental data misuses. For instance, storing customer information in an unsecured format or sharing data without full consent can happen unintentionally but still lead to severe consequences. Lastly, the impact on customer trust is more serious for small businesses. A privacy breach or even just the perception of unethical data use can result in customer loss or bad publicity and even financial penalties. And unlike big firms, small businesses might not have the brand power to recover from such losses. I would like to hand over to Upakar.
Now, talking about ethical challenge equals to competitive gap. Ethical weaknesses caused by limited resources can widen the gap between small and large businesses. Legal penalties can be devastating for small businesses. Loss of customer trust is harder to regain without a large marketing budget. A marketing disadvantage develops because big firms have better infrastructure to ensure compliance. Key point. While small businesses often want to be ethical, they face constraints in time, training, and technology. This limits their ability to meet the same standards at larger companies, putting them at a disadvantage. Now, about the conclusion, ethical standards like data protection and transparency are harder for small businesses to implement due to limited resources. Even with good intentions, they often lack the tools and guidance to match large companies. This creates a competitive disadvantage and increases their legal and market risks.
Okay, so these are the references. Thank you.